his name on top of the car, which has this video flips. I've already done that. And now they've asked me to put something up on the front of the car, something like the Super B Yellow Jacket Special. That's what we put up on the very front, which you'll see me doing a little of that. He's asking me now, am I going to put that up on the front? And I told him, yeah, I sure will. So they got the car jacked up for me there to kind of help me balance a little bit. Now they're going to let it down. And I'll get up on the front of that car and they actually made me a little old walkboard, you might say, to stand on. So now they let the car down, and I'm going to get up on the front of it there and put the Yellow Jacket Special. I think he had that on several of his cars, and they asked me to put it on this one also. After all this is said and done, of course, I'll be coming back to do the white around the letters, around the 53, excuse me. The paint is not quite as dry as I like it to go around those letters. So I think they grabbed a hold of the camera there, and they're going to try to focus. You see, they made me a little platform to stand on there to lay that out up there. I'm just trying to draw me a little line there to go by. Maybe I get my lettering reasonably straight. With script lettering, a lot of times you can take a little more privilege with them. You can swing them out, you can move them around. You notice I'm hitting the measurement there, and all the time I had a rivet up there that was dead center. I marked it anyway, so I'm going back now, and I'll just kind of take in this particular case I'm using charcoal. I'll just kind of scribble it out where I want it. As you can see, I'm not laying out each letter. I'm just trying to get a good feel of where that letter's going to wind up. I noticed when I was doing that, I was too far to the right, so all I'll do is just drop back and start the left side a little farther back this way, and hopefully wind up at about the same place on the other side. As you can see, I'm no skinny dude. I'm about 265 pounds, which is, I don't believe any man ought to have that kind of weight on him. I was looking to see if the camera was on me or not there. I had the little monitor turned around where I could see where I was, and hopefully I can get most of this right. Of course, I've had to edit out quite a bit of this because this thing's already 2 hours long, so if I'd left everything in, it would have probably been somewhere around 2.5 hours. So that's about how long it took me to leather this car. My goodness, in the old days, back when I was doing that every day, 1 hour would have been too long for me because I could pretty much fly through that stuff. Not anymore. I'm getting a little bit old, a little shakier, and hadn't done much of it, that's all. So now we're putting the Yellow Jacket Special across the front of the car. We're doing this car in July 15th, 2016. Like I mentioned before, I did that car originally back in 1962, I believe it was. I can't get all those dates exact, but way back there. Anyway, back when I was a spring chicken, I'd hop up on that car like it wasn't nothing. I'd get up there and jump around on those cars and just fast as greased lightning. You know, back when I went down to Letter Marty Robinson's car down in Georgia, down in South Carolina, I said, now, it's going to be rough on me. But them guys jacked that car up. Each side, they jacked that thing up to where I was very comfortable lettering that car. I was having a lot of trouble with the outline on some of them letters. And so I asked them, would you jack this car up? And they said, well, certainly. Of course, the car now, you hit them in what they call a jack point, which is usually right behind the driver's door. You jack the car up, and the whole side comes up, not just one wheel or the other. The whole side of the car will come off the ground. They jacked that thing up and made it very comfortable for me to do. And now, if we try to jack this car up from the side, of course it would twist. As you can look inside, you can see the roll bars. There's not any crossbar or penny bar or anything like that inside of them. All they had was one top, on the front, and one on the back, and one on each side. And then on the side there, they wrapped it with tape, and a lot of times they put foam rubber under that tape. I'm trying to get down now, and I did pretty good until I tried to get that leg up, and it kept getting hung on me, so I have to have a little bit of help there to get down. I get the left hand right there where it can swing me around. Now I'm going to be going to the other side to begin my outline, doing the white outline. That doesn't really take a lot of time, but that's what I'll be doing next, is doing the outline on I do the outline on this side first, then I swing around to do the other side. He picks up the camera and brings it around, and I'll be putting the white stripes on the back here. I've already did the passenger side with the white outline. Now I'm going to do stripes underneath that flame-kissed stakes. And there's also a little white line on each side of the words, home of. He's going to ask me there, are you going to outline the whole thing? Well, the whole thing wasn't outlined. It just had a line like I'm doing right there. Now, you might think I'm doing that freehand, but I'm not. I got a piece of tape. As you notice, I left the piece of tape underneath the words flame-kissed stakes. And now I'm pulling the line across there, having that tape to kind of help guide me. And one other thing, you look back there, I kind of got it off on the back there a little bit. My wife pointed it out to me. I never noticed it till I got home, and she brought it to my attention that I had it about a half a letter too far to the right. And you'll see me pull this tape off, and I'll have a perfectly straight bottoms on those letters. And there's Joe there. He's going to be my handy man. He's going to take that tape as I strip it off to keep us from tripping over it. Now I put a little line on each side of the words home of. There again, just a round tip letter, round tip stroke. On the other side there, the red paint wasn't quite as dry as I like to have it, so I have to go back, and where the two colors mix, you come up with a pink in areas on the lettering. But now, you'll notice down there in the corner, I wasn't even thinking about it. He said, I want you to put your name down in the corner. So I put Signs by Ken down in the bottom, and I'll put a little cloud around it with my brush. That's one of my trademarks of years gone by. And I'm saying something there now. I don't know what I'm saying. I may have to go back and listen to the video and see what I did say. I'm more or less telling that we're going to go around on the other side and do the white outline. But one thing that I'm going to try to get this thing set in the right spot where people can watch how we do the outline around it. It takes me just a second there to get it set up like I want it to. And like I say, I'm looking at the little monitor to see where I'm setting the camera. It's not quite back far enough yet. I've got the zoom set all the way back, but I'm working awful close proximities there too. I moved it down just a little bit where you could see the number. Now I'm going to begin to put the outline around it. Same kind of process. You just start at the top and work your way down. That's that number 6 quill. That's not the same one I had in black, but it's another one. I switched it over to white. As you'll notice, you might be able to see just a little bit of pink mixing in there. When you hit white with red in the red, of course you'll get pink. And he probably wouldn't have liked it with a pink outline, so sometimes I go back and double stroke it and try to keep it from looking so bad. I can't wait to unveil this little car down in Nashville, and I'm going to put this on Facebook in about 10-minute segments. And hopefully, like I say, I've been praying this audio is going to work with that video. I got another 15 minutes or so of video on here. We're down to 1 hour and 45 minutes now. I've got a little program here that you can separate the audio and then take out the audio from the video, then redo new audio for it. I may even put a tiny bit of music in there to where it's, give it a little bit more fill in. I'm just yakking, saying something. I think I'm talking to Joe there. This side was a little drier than the other side, even though I did this side last. The red wasn't quite as tacky as the other side. This is totally freehand here. Just my hand is just, when you say freehand, you're not touching anything. You have nothing to balance you. You have no maul stick. Not even my little finger in a lot of cases was touching. It's totally freehand. I can see Joe standing back there and we're yakking about something, I'm sure. I'm maybe lying about something, I'm not sure. But we were just talking up a storm, carrying on a conversation. People always ask me, how in the world can you sit there and letter and all these people bothering you, all these people standing around you? Well, I enjoyed that. I enjoyed people watching what I was doing. I really did. I love to explain to people what I'm doing, how long I've been doing it, and a lot of people, the first thing they ask you, did you go to school to learn how to do that? Yeah, I did. The School of Hard Knocks. I came up through the ranks of the poor, for sure. You know, back when I was little, you can see my cell phone sticking out of my pocket there. I couldn't even imagine walking down the street and talking on the telephone. I was sitting there and my phone would ring and I'll answer it. I couldn't even imagine that, but now you look at it. Everywhere you look, everybody's got one, including the little children. In a lot of cases, I seen a couple of little kids over at Walmart the other day. I believe with all of my heart they were walking along, one in front of the other, talking to each other on those cell phones. Because you could see one of them laugh, then you see the other one laugh. And I was kind of riding around one of them little carts. My legs were hurting me so bad I kind of had to ride in one of them little buggies. I've got a handicap license, but I try not to park in a handicapped spot unless I just have to. But I've got problems with my legs, and my doctor told me I really need to park as close as I could, and I believe that's just right backwards. Now you'll notice here that I've finished at 53. I think that's about it. I think we're just about wound up on that part of it. I do go back here and kind of look things over. I'll go back and get my black brush again and round off a couple of letters back there in the back that was left undone. I'm telling them about a particular taxi cab company in Nashville that decided they wanted to go somewhere else and get their taxes done. And they was going to get them for $75 less. Yeah, they did. They got them for $75 less. Now, every time I turn around, I see one of those taxi cabs coming back for us to touch them up. Well, it's not going to happen anymore. I mean, I'm not the kind of person that takes any vengeance on anybody, but I don't believe it's right for them to leave me for that, because these people would come over and just say one of the drivers, maybe his kid pulled a letter off or something, maybe he scraped up against something, scraped up a letter. Well, I would just fix those letters, wouldn't charge them a dime. And then the bigwigs of the company, I guess, decided they was going to go someplace else, and they did. They went to another company, and I noticed one came in the other day, and they got these checkerboards on top of them. We always had our checkerboard standing straight up and down, nice and neat. But when I got to look at this one here, it wasn't nice and neat. That thing was, they was leaning sideways when the time they got to the front, because they made them in strips and put them on. And I almost felt like calling the guy and telling him, if that's the kind of work you want, hey, I'll be glad to do it. I'm packing up my brushes back here and rinsing out my brushes and getting in a little more transmission fluid there to keep my brushes oiled up, keep them squeaking when I use them. That's what I always say. They keep them from squeaking. And Joe went and got a distributor he wanted to show me, one of them fancy distributors. It cost a lot of money where he was talking there. That was his brother walked by. It's getting a little hot in there now. I guess I appreciate the fans. By the time I got through, because it was getting kind of warm. Trying to pack up all my tools there and get everything up out of the way and clean up the best I can. And Well, they don't ever make too much of a mess, but they're trying to help all they can. I do appreciate those boys helping me. They stayed right there with me. Never, Jeff and Joe both. They stayed right there all day, the whole time I was lettering. And anytime I needed something, they would assist me in it. There's Jeff walking back through there now, and Joe's sitting there drinking a Coke, and Jeff's back there on the phone. He's got an electric business there in his hometown, and I'm sure he's conducting business there now. I know he wasn't talking to none of his girlfriends. Now you can see I'm packing up my paint. Any paint that was left over, I always try to put it back into the cans. But like I say, that paint's kind of expensive. I'd often dreamed of one day me and my wife just taking a trip, going down some of the old country roads, stopping at any place like old service stations or something like that, and lettering a window or something like that, and making enough money to keep on going down the road. And one day, if the Lord lets me live long enough, that's exactly what I want to do. I want to go down through there and just visit the old stores and stuff. A lot of them got windows and signs on the windows that's totally faded out. And it'd be great to go in there to paint that, to repaint them. But of course, some of them don't want them repainted. They want them to have that old look. And a lot of people like that. And I do too, to a certain extent. The entire Tony family, I'd like to just say thank you to every one of them for allowing me the very awesome privilege of coming to letter this car. It just brought back so many memories, and it's just one of those things that you just hard to beat. When somebody has trusted you to come and do something to a nostalgic automobile, you can see my wife, she comes walking in. She's my inspector. She's going to look it all over. She's going to tell me that I could have put a little bit heavier white around the edge, and she's going to stand there and kind of look things over. She's going to walk all the way around the car and looking to make sure that I did everything right. And she's usually scared of dogs, but she didn't seem to be too bothered about that one. I think she knows where the camera is, and she's not going to kind of get out in front of it. Like I was saying, the entire Tony family they just don't know how much it means to be able to come back after all these years and redo this car. Just the same way I did Marty Robinson's car. It's just a wonderful, wonderful feeling. I've been asked to do another one, which I never lettered, but Al Jones down in Franklin is rebuilding the Hart Hastings number 14 car. And when he gets that done, he's asked me to come down and letter it. Well, I don't know who lettered it originally, but I'll sure go do it for him if they can't find the original artist that did it. There's my wife there. She's going back there. She's seen that boo-boo somewhere. She's not saying nothing right now, but she's seen where I got that line of lettering off, and she tells me about it. She's been with me now for 56 years. 56 years we've been together and been married. In fact, we just celebrated back in June. We celebrated our 56th year of marriage. I was married June the 4th, 1960. Let me take a moment here before this video runs out, to thank everyone that is involved in my career throughout the years. And, people like P.B. Crowd and R.C. Alexander, people that allowed me to let their cars, all the drivers and car owners, Ellis Cook, and on it could go. I could sit here all day long and name off people that have helped me along the way. And certainly have made my life fuller than what it would have been without it. Of course, most of all, my philosophy is, first thing I do is thank God. I thank God for the ability to do what I've been able to do. Throughout the years in my music, He's always been right there with me to help me along the way, and He gets all the glory and all the honor for any good that comes in my life. And sometimes He allows the bad because I allow the bad. But I want to just preach a little sermon here, and before we close up my box back there and total it on out the door. And I just let me stop and thank all those many, many wonderful, wonderful people. Phil Stillings, the Stillings brothers, Fat Boy Ryman, and on it could go. It's just so hard to name everybody, and probably shouldn't name anybody because, I don't leave nobody out. But I thoroughly hope that you've enjoyed this video, and I hope that you'll take the time to stop and thank God for whatever He's blessed you with. Without Him, we'd be nothing. Without Him, our life would be nothing. And I thank Jesus Christ for giving Himself a ransom for us all to pull us back out away from the onslaughts of the devil. I'm ready to close up my box now and get ready to go home. And I hope with all of my heart that you've enjoyed this video. And I'll kind of let it trail out here now, and it'll mix into the thank yous at the end of it. And I just want to thank everyone for the opportunity of doing this, of making a video of my talents throughout the years. Thank you so very much for joining us. May God bless each and every one of you. That is my prayer. That's my kind of race car. Yeah, I've loaded a bunch of them. I loaded that one.
I remember